alone. Still in video, of course, they're all hybrid, but and part of a large HD upgrade across the board, sure. And it's a competitive differentiator. Not too many can spend $25 million on just cameras. And the reason is it makes us faster. The photographers, the so-called still photographers, can shoot the image, select it, and instantly transmit it from wherever they are. Video people have backpacks that used to be the equivalent of a $450,000 TV editing truck. They can now follow on a motorcycle the people going in to Gaddafi's compound, as they did, and transmit live. And everywhere around the world we have deployed this. So you can go live to the scene. It's fantastic. They cost $25,000 a piece. So that's what's exciting about now. Now, it's true you can put the stuff on the air before you know what it is, and you can look really stupid. So that's where good editors and senior journalists really can.
You know, I think within Tribune, we clearly have less employees in our newsroom today than we have had over the last several years. There was no doubt. That has shrunk as it has in every other part of the organization. What I would say, though, that's, at least for us, is as we have refocused on what we stand for and what we can make a difference on, is we have gotten rid of duplication. So we've got our media on demand, where we produce pages for almost all of our East Coast units, and that's all of our nation and world and other types of topics. But we have intensified our local focus. And actually what we have done is we've added hiring to investigative journalism. In many ways, we've gone back to the roots of what we were in journalism. We have a lot more people out there in investigative journalism. We have a lot more trying to make an emotional local connection. And we put more in the technology side. I was meeting with our editor before coming here. We've added into, in particular, a group of people we have on the database side who are in there looking at the world from a data perspective different than we had before. And so for us, while we are down overall, we are actually up disproportionately in our investigative reporting. And as we look at it, we think that's going to be what matters most for us as a local brand in the Chicago regional area. And we're certainly seeing that in several of our newspapers right now in our media organization.
But I think I'd like to make a distinction. The standards in the field may be lower, and they may be lower because the gatekeepers are too stupid to do some original reporting when they should. So let's go back to Saturday night when Paterno was prematurely raised to heaven, and somebody reported it. It was a false report, and the others just went along without doing any reporting.
Yeah.
That is taking place in way too many traditional organizations. And why? Because the number of gatekeepers are down, the experience level of the gatekeepers is down, and there's no consequences for the people making those mistakes.
No, I think 2011 was, in terms of technology, one of the highlights was social media revolution. And it was interesting on Twitter I was trying to do different stories on CNN because we knew that the impact that it was having in Egypt and Syria and Libya. But what was really interesting to me is I was finding individuals on the ground. One individual stands out in Egypt who might have had 150 followers. And he was in the heart of it with a small publication. When I started tracking his feed, I was getting the best content on the ground as to what was happening before anyone else. By the end of this, he had about 30,000. And it was just very impactful to find somebody just by doing a search query in Twitter that was in the middle of everything.
Okay. But I think in terms of technology and web design and design and implementation, people should understand everything that they're working with. And we're all working with that now. So I think that's a really cool sight of like the old merging with the new. Like, get a grasp on all of it, even if you have no idea how it works.
Do that.
Yeah.
Well, in some way, I find it's like trying to connect the dots, right? You know, one piece of it, and once you skip this piece, it starts to connect it. I said before I had gone to RIT, somewhere amongst my experience at RIT, I became a technical geek, and I have no idea how. Because my whole thing was not to become, but I became that in a very natural way. But you saw it all connected.
And And I think that was the biggest thing for me. I learned more from the people around me. I learned so much from everybody teaching me as much as I did in an IT major.
Yeah.
That is fascinating. Like being around RIT grads still and my network of friends, like it's cheesy, but I learned so much from them and what's trending and what's happening and what sites I need to know. How do I code in HTML5? Why is Flash dying? What's great about Drupal? Like those are probably words that don't even make sense, but I learned too.
What's